Hello and welcome to the CalMac Care For A Ceilidh. My name is Donnie MacLeod, some people know me as Donnie MacLeod, and I'm going to be your host for this special Ceilidh. We're so glad you can join us today on St Andrew's night, and we're going to have a really great Ceilidh with some fantastic musicians. One of the themes we're going to be covering is kindness, and as my act of kindness, I am not going to be singing. I'm sure you're going to enjoy that. You can find out more about these Ceilidhs using the hashtags CalMacKindness and We Are Scotland. Care For A Ceilidh is a scheme where traditional musicians, singers, dancers visit care homes and special needs schools all around Scotland, putting on short music concerts. We've been running these for around 7 years now, and the feedback that we get is always fantastic. All the performers are just phenomenal musicians, and we're delighted to be welcoming you today for our special Ceilidh. This is a free concert that we're putting on. I'm sure you're going to enjoy it, but there is an opportunity to donate to a really hugely worthwhile cause, the Donnie MacLeod Memorial Trust, and you can find details on the page below. We are delighted to be teaming up with our great friends at Caledonian MacBrain to showcase these brilliant musicians at these Ceilidhs, and we thank CalMac very much for their support. And now we'd like to introduce our first fantastic performer. It's a well-known figure in Scottish traditional music, Robert Robertson from the band Tidelines. Robert, great to have you along at the CalMac Care For A Ceilidh. How have you enjoyed lockdown?
I'm not sure enjoyed the word, but we're all getting through it.
Good.
So, good to see you, Donnie.
Yeah, great to see you. We're one of the themes we have today is kindness, and how people have adapted and shown kindness through lockdown. Do you have any examples yourself of kindness?
Yeah, Donnie, actually, right at the start of lockdown, at the height of the restrictions, I was in my flat in Glasgow, isolating like everyone else, and like all bands and musicians, we were trying to decide how to engage with our fan base at that point, and I thought, let's try going live on Facebook, just me sitting in the flat and communicate and see who's out there. Obviously, everyone else around the world was in lockdown at that point, pretty much. And we decided that we would try and put a wee link at the bottom for people that might want to donate to the Simon community, who are an amazing charity that basically help the homeless people throughout central Scotland. And I thought, this is mainly a thing that our fans will tune in and I'll sing a few songs to them, and they might donate. Might make a couple £100 for the Simon community. But the kindness that was shown by absolutely everyone on Facebook that evening that tuned in to see it was unreal, and they donated what ended up being over £6,000
Wow.
to the Simon community, which was, for me, it was like a really emotional thing, because I genuinely hadn't even thought that our fans would be so kind in their donations, and I started off, just didn't know what to expect, and by the end of it, I could see the number just rising at the bottom of the screen, and I kept saying, guys, this is amazing. I thought I was maybe going to be on for 10 minutes or something, but I stayed on for an hour, and by the end, as I say, the total was up in the thousands. So I think what it showed at the start of lockdown was that despite what we're going through, everyone was kind of looking out for each other, and people that were in even worse situations than all of us, at least we had homes to lock ourselves into,
Oh, that's brilliant. That's great. I mean, it's given me an idea as well, and I should maybe do something like that and see if people will pay money for me to stop singing.
That would be 12,000.
Brilliant. Well, we're absolutely delighted to have Robert along for the CalMac Care For A Ceilidh, so please take it away, Robert.
Thank you, Donnie. Okay, so this first song is a song that was part of our second album that we released in the middle of lockdown, and because the restrictions made it difficult to put a normal music video together, our fans jumped to our aid and sent in wee videos of them singing the last few lines. So we built up this kind of virtual choir to finish the song off on lines that were written long before coronavirus was ever heard of, but which became kind of relevant as lockdown went on. This is called Taste the Rain. Proud and pretty girl with her smile, she is commanding all her company. She says she's feeling tired, but she looks fine from where you're standing on your own across the bar. It's the hour upon the street when all the charming people meet and don't get far. When your heart is drunk and you feel no pain, and you find yourself walking home again, so you kiss the cold and you taste the rain and you sing the old farewell. Clouds of cigarette smoke and a girl selling roses on the pavement. achievement. Crowds of lonesome lovers faking smiles and holding poses as a silent hour slips by. They exist with hope and grace in another time and place beyond this sky. When your heart is drunk and you feel no pain, and you find yourself walking home again, so you kiss the cold and you taste the rain and you sing the old farewell. Oh, when your heart is drunk and you feel no pain, and you find yourself walking home again, so you kiss the cold and you taste the rain and you sing the old farewell. Through the stormy weather, on the path of changes, we will stand together, walking through the ages. Through the stormy weather, on the path of changes, we will stand together, walking through the ages. Through the stormy weather, on the path of changes, we will stand together, walking through the ages.
Our next performer is a fantastic fiddler. She plays in the band Heisk and Westward the Light. And she's done loads of Ceilidhs with us before. I'm sure you're going to absolutely love her fiddle playing. Sally Simpson.
I'm going to start with something completely miserable here, because I know we're in slightly dark days, but I quite like leaning into the melancholy music from time to time. So this is the Earl of Jura, which I learnt from the playing of Lauren McCall, who got it from Mary Ann Kennedy as a Gaelic song, which I believe is a woman lamenting that her lover, the Earl of Jura, has left or cheated or something, and how her life is now over. Which is a wee bit pessimistic of her. And then I'm going into a tune called The Highlanders' Farewell, which is was a Scottish tune to start with, and is now has made it over to America, been played over there for a while, and come back. So it's got a bit of an old time twang to it now. But yeah, first up, a bit of Misery.
tune called Everyday Heroes that I wrote at the very beginning of lockdown. An idea was put to me to write a piece of music for all our amazing NHS and frontline workers. Because obviously during the pandemic, the incredible job that we're doing. So I came up with this wee tune early on a Monday morning. I think I'd woke up really early and recorded this on my phone and sent it to the rest of the boys in Skerryvore. See what they thought of this idea of pulling this tune together. And sure enough, within the week, I'm very lucky in Skerryvore, Scott, my fellow piper, has a studio in his house. So we managed to get a guide track down, and a lot of the guys in the band have also got recording equipment, and pull this whole track together along with fellow musicians from Tidelines, Skipnish, Pete and Diesel, Manran, and even Alistair Campbell, former communications person for Labour, who is I've got connections to from being from Tidy originally. So we got the track out, video, and amazingly got to #1 in the Scottish chart. So it's quite an incredible feat, and also raised a lot of money for the NHS staff, which was the whole purpose of the tune. So here we go. This is Everyday Heroes.
On a Monday morning, right early in the year, when Charlie came into her town, the young Chevalier. And Charlie is my darling, my darling, my darling. Charlie is my darling, the young Chevalier. As he was was walking down the street, the city far to fear. Oh, there he spied a bonny lass, the window peeking through. Oh, Charlie is my darling, my darling, my darling. Charlie is my darling, the young Chevalier. He jumped up the stairs until at the pin, and was it a day but herself, she let the laddie in. Charlie is my darling, my darling, my darling. Charlie is my darling, the young Chevalier. He sat his Jenny on his knee, all in his Highland dress, but Brawley really can't the way to please a Highland lass. Oh, Charlie is my darling, my darling, my darling. Charlie is my darling, the young Chevalier. Up yon heathery mountain and down yon scroggy glen, we dearly gang a milking for the Charlie and all his men. Oh, Charlie is my darling, my darling, my darling. Charlie is my darling, the young Chevalier. And Charlie is my darling, my darling, my darling. Charlie is my darling, the young Chevalier.
Our next performer is Hannah Rarity. Hannah is a former Young Traditional Musician of the Year and is a fantastic singer who has entertained at many of our Ceilidhs in the past. Hannah, lovely to see you.
Hello, you too.
Hope you've survived lockdown well.
Yes, yes.
Do you have any experiences of kindness during lockdown?
Yeah, I do. I think you had Sally playing the fiddle for you a while ago. She very kindly cycled all the way from the south side with a handmade couple of masks for me and my flatmate, which was lovely. So that was really sweet. And also I found that, especially at the start of lockdown, a lot of people started writing to one another. So I received a lot of postcards from people, whether up in Inverness, Edinburgh, and lots of different friends that I hadn't seen for years or maybe hadn't spoken to. And it was just, reaching out with a little postcard or a letter or something like that. And then that kind of continued on for months. So I'm still writing to a few people. So that was a really nice thing.
Oh, that's great. Really nice to hear that. Yeah. Great experience. So I say our next performer at the CalMac Care For A Ceilidh is the fantastic Hannah Rarity.
Thank you very much. Well, I'm delighted to be joined by Innes White on guitar today, and we're going to give you a few songs. The first that we're going to kick things off with is one of my own songs, which is called Wander Through This Land. And for this one, I want you to picture yourself somewhere beautiful out in the countryside and just embrace that feeling. I wrote this song after I got on a plane and escaped to New Zealand for a wee while after I graduated for about 6 or 7 weeks and had a little bit of an adventure. So there's a chorus in this one as well if you fancy singing along. This is Wander Through This Land. Gazing out on blue, these oceans are near to me today. Seeking truth, lost sight of all along the way. But you'll take my hand, we'll wander through this land together. Mark my steps upon the shore, give me more to see and feel while I'm awake. Darkness waits, no concern for time or place finds me here. But you'll take my hand, we'll wander through this land together.
but you'll take my hand. We'll wander through this land together. Help me make believe stay here. We don't ever have to go. Can't deny, no matter how I try, you feel like home. But you'll take my hand. We'll wander through this land together. Make no plans, we can work it out along the way. If you take my hand, we'll wander through this land together. Time may be all we have to spend. What we leave behind, we can find anywhere we go. If you take my hand, we'll wander through this land together. Gazing out on blue, these oceans are near to me today. Seeking truth, lost sight of all along the way. But you'll take my hand, we'll wander through this land together. Make no plans, we can work it out along the way. If you take my hand, we'll wander through this land together. But you'll take my hand, we'll wander through this land together.
So we're delighted to be joined by Ewan Henderson from the band Manran, one of Scotland's, in fact, the world's finest musicians. So we're absolutely chuffed to bits that he's here with us today. So thanks very much for joining us, Ewan. How are things going?
Not so bad. And yourself?
Good. Aye, grand, thanks. So one of the themes we've been talking about in the CalMac Care For A Ceilidh is kindness. Do you have any kindness stories you'd like to share with us?
There was one I heard kind of recently, a nephew of mine, I won't say which one to save embarrassing him, but he was having a fight with his older sister, and she says something to the effect of, "Oh, come on, what do you think you're made of?" And the wee fella went, "I'm made of kindness." So there you go.
Brilliant. That's great. Thanks very much, Ewan. I say it's great to have you along for the CalMac Care For A Ceilidh, and we'd like to now invite you to give us a wee song. Thanks very much. we're delighted to be joined by the Laurettes. We have Lynette and Lauren, and they're going to perform a few fantastic Scottish tracks that I'm sure you'll all recognise and you can join in with. Thanks very much for joining us. Hope you're going to enjoy the CalMac Care For A Ceilidh.
Thanks for having us. It's a fantastic opportunity for us.
It's lovely. And one of the themes that we've been discussing in the CalMac Care For A Ceilidh is kindness. So do you have any thoughts on kindness you'd like to share with us?
Yeah, well, the biggest story that we've got together is through lockdown. We obviously couldn't gig, and we were gigging absolutely every weekend in our kind of local town. We were starting to branch out throughout Scotland a little bit. So we took to an online forum and started our own lockdown page called Inverclyde Lockdown Live. And it really pulled our community together.
Yeah, it just blew up, didn't it?
It did, yeah. We ended up with about 6,000 people in the group. But the whole point of it was that we did live music. We kept musicians performing throughout lockdown in our town, but everyone donated money towards our local NHS and our local hospital. So I think we ended
used it as like a venue, didn't we?
Yeah, it was like a gig venue every Saturday night, and it really brought everybody together as a family. And we managed to raise loads of money, and we were just running supplies up and down to the hospital nearly every single day.
The support from everybody in Inverclyde was phenomenal.
So overwhelming to see how amazing everyone
just pulled together
without even.
You realise everybody's in it together.
A lot of help.
Wanting to help.
Yeah, that's how our lockdown went, and it was through music and community, not even just music, but the community pulling together to support it and really, really back everybody that was struggling. So
we're proud.
Yeah, we are proud.
Very proud. Oh, so you should be. That's a great story. Thanks very much. Really looking forward to hearing you. So please, I'm sure you can enjoy them. The Laurettes.
Thank you.
I thought I heard the old man say, "Leave her, Johnny, leave her. Tomorrow you'll get your pay. It's time for us to leave her. And leave her, Johnny, leave her. Oh, leave her, Johnny, leave her. For the voyage is long and the winds don't blow. It's time for us to leave her." Oh, the wind was foul and the sea ran high. Leave her, Johnny, leave her. She shifted clean and none went by. It's time for us to leave her. And leave her, Johnny, leave her. Oh, leave her, Johnny, leave her. For the voyage is long and the winds don't blow. And it's time for us to leave her. I hate to sail on this rotten tub. Leave her, Johnny, leave her. No grog allowed on this rotten grub. And it's time for me to leave her. And leave her, Johnny, leave her. Oh, leave her, Johnny, leave her. For the voyage is long and the winds don't blow. It's time for us to leave her. We swear by road for want and more. Leave her, Johnny, leave her. But now we're through, so we'll go on shore. And it's time for us to leave her.
Straight away.
I'm going to play a set of 2 reels now. The first one is called Delamile Pool, or Delagile Pool, I forget, and it's looked it up. It's apparently a part of the River Spey, and I found it in the Highland collection, that tune. And then we're going into a tune that I wrote just a couple of days ago in anticipation of one of my best friends having a baby. It doesn't have a name yet because the baby was just born this morning. So I thought I'd better wait until she's got a name to decide what name to stick to the tune. So yeah, this is for those pals and everyone who's I guess had to go through a big life event in lockdown without necessarily being able to see everyone that they would hope to at that point. Yeah.
Thank you very much. We're now going to do, I realise we're doing two of my own songs, but here we go anyway. This is another song I wrote in about 2014 when one of my best friends from school had a little girl. So it's called Anna's Lullaby. She's since had a little boy who is now 3, and I still haven't written him a song. There's images of dinosaurs. I'm trying to write something, I'm trying to put it together, but it's not happening. But this is a lullaby that I wrote her for a wee present when she was born. Here we go.
Cuddle in and hold me tight as I tell you everything's alright. Close your eyes like stars, rest your head, my baby. Me, oh my, I love you so. Hurts my heart to leave you, though I know come the morning light, we'll be back together. As you lay there sound asleep, I'll be guarding over you to keep the demons from your door. Rest your head, my baby. Me, oh my, I love you so. Hurts my heart to leave you, though I know come the morning light, we'll be back together. The blanket o'er the world tonight will soon be pulled away to let the light awaken you and I. Rest your head, my baby. Me, oh my, I love you so. Hurts my heart to leave you, though I know
We're delighted to be joined by two of our fantastic performers from Care For A Ceilidh. Rachel is a fantastic Highland dancer and has helped out at many Ceilidhs over the years, which is much appreciated. And also by the one and only Martin Gillespie from Skerryvore. Lovely to see you both. Thanks very much for joining us for the CalMac Care For A Ceilidh. Martin, one of the themes that we've got for the CalMac Care For A Ceilidhs is kindness. Now, you're a very generous man yourself, we know that.
Yeah.
Do you have any stories of kindness you'd like to share with us?
Yeah, I think there's certainly probably since the pandemic started, certainly been quite a few. And one that's probably affected myself and a lot of musicians is certainly the kindness shown by a lot of bands, followers and fans. Certainly for us at the time, we were in tour in the States when the pandemic hit. So we had to cancel a tour, book new flights, get home. So even just from then on to the current stage we're at now, the merchandise with live streams we're doing, our following have been absolutely superb and supporting them we do online, knowing that they can't come to live gigs at the moment. So I think certainly from in a musical sense, the support shown by our fans is incredible.
No, that's great to hear. And thank you both very much for coming along and playing at the Ceilidh today. So we'll hand it over to Rachel and Martin.
Thank you.
For my last song, I'm going to sing the first song that Tideline's ever released as a band back in 2016. It's quite a suitable one for a CalMac stream. It talks about the Hebrides quite a lot. That's called Far Side of the World. And thanks very much to Donnie and to CalMac for having me as part of this. It's been good to get to play some live music again. There are stories I've heard told of an unfamiliar road where an evening sun hangs gold in the skyline. In a quiet unknown town, there is solace to be found in the unforsaken hours of the twilight. There's a girl and I can see her far away from this frontier. And I wanna dance with a Highland girl where the skies reach out for miles. I wanna feel the breeze of the Hebrides on the far side of the world. On an evening in July, neath the red Loch Harbour sky, she smiled and closed her eyes on my shoulder. Now I'm a million miles from home, and the girl I call my own, and I'm dreaming all alone just to hold her. And as I look into the water, I see her standing at the altar. And I wanna dance with a Highland girl where the skies reach out for miles. I wanna feel the breeze of the Hebrides on the far side of the world. Cause I wanna dance with a Highland girl where the skies reach out for miles. I I wanna feel the breeze of the Hebrides on the far side of the world. Nail your colours to the mast in the footsteps of the past, and when you breathe your last, life's returning. For when the sun sets on the years, all the miles and all the tears, a world away from here, it's the morning. In my mind I see her smile, oh, where the tide lines grace the aisle. And I wanna dance with a Highland girl, where the skies reach out for miles. I wanna feel the breeze of the Hebrides on the far side of the world. Cause I wanna dance with a Highland girl, where the skies reach out for miles. I wanna feel the breeze of the Hebrides on the far side of the world. Thanks very much.
We hope you've enjoyed our Ceilidh today. We'd like to give a special thanks to Ewan, Martin, Hannah, Robert, Rachel, Sally, and the Lorettes. Thank you all so much for giving your time and talent so generously. One of the themes we've been discussing at our Ceilidh has been kindness. If you'd like to share a story about kindness, please do so using the hashtag CalMacKindness or We Are Scotland. For more content like this, sign up for the CalMac newsletter or find out more on their social media pages.